Hello.
Good morning, Grandpa.
Well?
Grandpa, I need you to tell me a story.
Okay. A dirty story?
You can tell me a dirty story. I want you to tell me the story of the day you were born.
I don't remember that too well.
Well, what you know?
Well, June the 21st, 1917.
I'm right.
It was on the homestead, and Dad was gone. Mother was alone. Mother did the tying the cords and stuff herself. Had no doctor. The nearest doctor was 70 miles or 80. The doctor come about a week later. They got him. He come out and said she was fine. She tied the cords and washed me and dressed me herself. Well, my sister, who was 10 years old, she come out crying out of the house and said, just another darn boy to wash dishes for her. But I don't know, the other brothers was little. The older brothers wasn't there. There was a neighbor lady come down, and she had no children. She come in and got sick, and they had to put her in another room. She wasn't even in there. She stayed in the other room.
Did Aunt Katie or Grandma ever tell you what the house was like that you were born in?
Well, yeah, I got pictures of it.
I don't know if I've ever seen pictures.
There's this little clapboard. Remember a picture of me standing in front of a little house with just a kid with little short breeches?
Yep.
That was her house.
Oh, okay. Can you describe what you remember of it?
Oh, just a little clapboard house. Huh?
How many rooms?
Probably one.
One, yeah.
Is that the house you told me that your brothers slept in a tent out front?
Right. They had a boarded up tent outside. Older brothers.
And I'm assuming the outhouse, how far away was that?
Oh, probably half a block or something from there.
Oh, it was a good ways to go when it was cold, huh?
Yeah. Well was probably farther than that. They had to draw the water with a bucket and windlass. A dug well, just a hole.
What do you remember about Catlow Valley when you were that age?
I left there before. I was just tiny.
Then you moved to where?
Voltage.
To Voltage.
I don't know. I think I was about, I'm not sure, 3 or 4 years old when they moved to Voltage. And I remember I've been in Catlow Valley and through it a lot. Just a big sagebrush valley. Was lots of homesteads, but they all went broke. They think there was farmers and Easterners come out there and they had no idea way to make a living.
Yeah.
When they run what little money they had, pick up a homestead. It was too cold to raise any kind of farm stuff, dry hay. And that's about the size of it. They lived on jackrabbits, a lot of them. Rabbits was good to eat, and they didn't have tularima.
And your dad, how long did he farm for before?
Well, he was a farmer back in Kansas, his own farm, but out here he worked for wages, worked for other people.
Did Grandma always have a garden and stuff?
Hell no, we had no water,
Oh, no water?
Place for garden. The water was a well with a windlass and a bucket. You don't water a garden much with a rolling a bucket full of water at a time out of a deep well. They had cows, they had milk. These people now would starve to death if they had to live like the homesteaders did. Rabbits to use was a nickel apiece, and mother and all the kids run snare lines and hunted rabbits. That was probably the only money they had coming in, what they got from rabbit ears. And mother even trapped coyotes along with the other brothers.
When did Grandma work at the French Glen Hotel?
Oh, when I was about 12, 13 or something.
Yeah.
I don't remember the year.
Yeah. And she just was a cook there?
Yeah. Oh, Katie was married and
Oh, she was already married?
on the ranch with...
You would have been in about the 7th grade. Or
Yeah, I was in the 7th grade.
No, okay.
The brothers was old enough that they was working on the ranches for wages. The different ranches.
Where was Grandpa at that time, do you know, or was he just...
Oh, he was off somewhere working. I have no idea.
Yeah.
He'd just take off and go. Denver stayed till he was a young man, and he finally went to, probably in his 20s, he went to Portland, went to Adcox Auto School, and then he moved to California and worked down there in the big dairy for several years. Favorite of the memories is brother and I hunting, and
Christmas gift from Mom.
Christmas time, mother bought when one year she bought me a little red plaid jacket, and I didn't have a damn little jacket, and it was cold. I remember that Christmas present, that little jacket. I can still see it. And she went to town working on the teeth, and she bought me a used sled for $1. It had the top with big steel runners, you know, sled, and the top was broke off, but somebody made the top out of a board, solid one. God, that was my most cherished thing. That I hauled water and went to school on it and played with it, ice running, saw it down and lay on the belly. I kept that till I was a grown young man, and I gave it to Katie's boys at Burns.
Yeah.
And the first day they had it, they left it lay out in the street, and somebody ran over it and smashed it. We used to take our 22s to the school when I was 7 or 8 years old. And now the kid, you 7 or 8 year old kid, you wouldn't even pick one up. But we'd take their 22 and put it in the closet.
Yeah.
And the sagebrush around the schoolyard. If the kids, anybody seen a rabbit out in the schoolyard or close, they'd tell the teacher, and she'd give us permission to go get a rifle. All the kids and teacher would watch out the window while we sneaked out and shot the rabbit. We'd take our gun back and put it up. I hunted rabbits alone for half a day at a time when I was 7 or 8 years old. So just out to the sagebrush with the dog. Walked over, found a rabbit. We had to contend with hydrophobic coyotes. Where I was born in Cattle Valley, there was 7 different coyotes with rabies. The hydrophobic come to our house. Come up to the door. They did our dogs and had to kill them. I said yes. And they left the mothers. They killed most of them. Now, I was probably about 10, maybe not quite that old. Mothers even said chickens was a squawking down to the chicken house, and it was quite a ways, half a block or more from home. She said, run down to the chicken house and see if there's a weasel in there. Something's after the chickens. Well, I went hopping and skipping down to the chicken house and started to look in the door, and out of the door come a big old coyote with a mouth full of feathers. And he took a look at me and started towards me. Well, I knew about rabies, and boy, I took back for the house, wide open running, and he was catching me. He was just loping along behind, but catching me. And a chicken ran through in between him and me. And he turned around and caught the chicken and killed it. And then after he bit it and killed it, he gave me enough time. He turned after me again, but I outrun him now. Mother held the door open, and I didn't even, he was out in the yard, but I went and got the rifle for Mother, and she got a little excited, I think, and jammed it. And then I went back and got the shotgun, and the guy, he coming towards her right after her close, and me with her. Mother shot him and killed him. They cut his head off. The game warden cut his head off and sent it in and said he was in the most violent stages of rabies. That was probably as fast as I ever did run.
Yeah, I'm sure.